example, when I knock on the door and actually somebody comes up to talk to me, and I know the script, I know what I'm going to say, and, I have a feeling just get out of there like fast as I can. And then I get in the car and I was like, oh my gosh, I should try to have a conversation, not just like, because I feel kind of like not, because of my English maybe, or something make me not comfortable. And that stupid feeling I have when I talk to people, like when I knock on the door, I have the package with me and I know exactly what I'm going to say, but I cut so short, I can't wait to get out of there. And then I realized, oh gosh, it's not right.
You could have done better, right? You feel like you could have done better. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's focus on that for a while. Would you like to kind of explore it, and would you like to see how you can get better at it? Okay.
Sure.
Well, you will be able to see this on the video because I wrote down on my board here behind me, what is the difference between a script and a conversation? What is the difference between you, what's your husband's name?
Alex.
Alex. What is the difference between you having a conversation with Alex about groceries and you talking to an expired listing about their house? What is the core difference?
Because talking to the stranger, I guess, is more difficult.
Yes.
And just probably be afraid to get rejected and make people angry.
Yes.
Because, I think that's what it is.
You're absolutely right. What I wrote down here is the level of familiarity. The level of familiarity. What that means is Alex and you have a high level of familiarity. You're familiar with each other. You're cool with each other, right? You're friends. You're married to each other. You know each other's secrets and intricacies and quirks and everything, right? So there's a high level of familiarity, which also means familiarity leads to trust. So there's a high level of trust between the two of you. You trust each other. You love each other. You should, right?
Yeah.
So
yes.
The difference is the level of familiarity. When you talk to a stranger, when you knock on somebody's door and says, hi, my name is Maka and I'm with ABC Real Estate and I was wondering if you relisted your house. It's a different sensation because the connection and the relationship is different. The dynamic between two of you is different. Does that make sense so far?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. Now, how can you turn a conversation with a stranger, somebody you've never met before, into the same level of familiarity and trust that you have with somebody like your husband, your friends, or even clients who already know you and you have a connection with? How can you do that? So I'll give you some points that helped me, because I struggled with this. Here's the first point I'm going to give you and everybody else who will be watching this on video. You're not alone. How you feel, the sense of...
Makes me feel better.
Oh, absolutely. We tend to kind of beat ourselves up. You know, I know I do. Just like you said, you have 3 conversations. You have a conversation in your head with the prospect before you either pick up the phone or knock on the door. Then you have a conversation with the prospect when you actually have a conversation. And then you get in the car and you have a third conversation of what you should have said. And you look back and go, shit, I should have said that, right? Do you do that?
Yes, yes.
Everybody does. That's normal. So how can we get the same level of familiarity and comfort? How can we bring that sensation to a conversation with a stranger? First, everybody is nervous at first. Nobody's good at it at first. Nobody. It would require practice. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's interesting that we accept that, yes, it will require progress and practice in activities like golf. Same thing with the golf. You can't play 70 your first time around golfing. No, you would hire somebody and you would go to the driving range and you would practice and you would get better and better and better. In any endeavors, except real estate. Somehow people think, I'm going to pick up the phone and magically list a whole bunch of properties my first time around. Or I'm going to knock on the door and they're going to fall in love with me. I'm going to list a property like that. It doesn't happen that way. It's the same process. With everything you learn, it's the same thing with this. It's the same skill. Here's the good news. First, the bad news, you're going to suck at first. Everybody does. It's not going to be good at first. But the good news is fairly quickly you can develop it just like any other set of skills. There's a very few people who get this very quickly. You know, the natural born salesman. But for the most of us, it's a process. Okay? So here's, Maka, how you can get there. First, acknowledge that there's going to be fear. So if you feel it, no need to beat yourself up, no need to feel any weird sensations or think like you're not cut out for this. It's just a natural sensation. Here's where it comes from. This has to do with human psychology. Remember when you were a little kid, people used to tell you, stranger danger, watch out for strangers. Remember that?
That's right. Yes, of course.
It's a very powerful programming that has been embedded in our psyche. Yeah. So it's a natural reaction we have when we encounter strangers to be a little cautious, to be careful. That's our DNA programming. So your reactions are normal. The fear you experience is normal. That's a normal reaction. That's the way it's supposed to be. It would be actually weird if you just embraced every stranger on the street, hugged everybody, and be cool and kumbaya. That'd be kind of odd, you know? So now, but we need to develop this ability, because your ability to, one, communicate with strangers, and two, make them feel comfortable so there is a level of connection enough to where they can trust you to do business with you, is one of the core, most important skills. In other words, you either get good at it and thrive, or you suck at it and you're going to struggle. That's really the only two options you're going to have. Notice that you have variety of successful agents in your area. Yeah. Notice that. You know, variety. Some are men, some are women. Different race, different age. Some are very young, some are older. They use different strategies, different systems. Some are great at working expireds and FISBOs. Some are excellent at sphere of influence. Some do fantastic open houses, whatever. There are 40, 45 different strategies to generate leads. But they have one thing in common. If you were to take them to lunch, and I encourage you, do that. Take them for a cup of coffee, talk to these people who are doing well, 250,000, 500,000 and more. You will notice one thing, they're very good communicators. Their skills, their age, and their abilities vary, but there's one thing they're really good at, is how they communicate. How they communicate when they prospect, how they communicate when they follow up, and how they communicate when they negotiate and present. Yeah? Now I'm going to give you some practical tips to get to that point. One, go for progress. Focus on progress. Set a plan to say, I'm going to get good at this, and I'm going to set up a plan to get. Imagine this, Maka. What if you could get 1% better every day? Just 1%. Can you get 1% better in the way, let's say, you prospect, or in the way you handle objections? Is that possible?
Of course, yes.
Of course, 1%. Just a little bit better. So now imagine, where will you be 100 days from now?
100% better.
Exactly, that's my math. 100% better. Now, what kind of rock star communicator can you be if you can get 100% better from where you are today? And you'd be crushing it. But you're not going to get there overnight magic leap. It's just one simple step every day, little step every day, a little better, a little better. So here's what I would give you. One, check your physiology. And what I mean by that is your body, how you act physically, impacts how you feel. Now try this. I want you to stand up. Do it. You too. Stand up. Stand up. Okay. Are you standing?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now I want you to take a nice deep breath. Just nice deep breath. Put your shoulders back. Grounded stand, where you feel grounded. You feel solid. You feel like nothing can really move you. Your head is up. You look forward. How does that feel? As opposed to being sitting down, being slumped over.
Yes, it feels much better.
It's a different feeling, right? Notice how just the way you carry your body impacts how you feel. But here's one more part to that. It goes what?
It feels different than sitting down with the shoulders.
It does, doesn't it? It triggers very different emotion in you because it's connected. Our psychology is impacted by our physiology and vice versa. Now, imagine you take a nice deep breath and you smile. Just do it right now. Just a nice big bright smile. Even if you have no reason to smile, smile. Just fake it if you have to. It's all right. So this is the trick. Number one, use your physiology. Use your body because it will impact how you feel. Now, you can deploy the same posture and pose, if you will, when you communicate with people. In other words, if I meet you face to face, I would use the same, call it procedure or whatever you want to call it, where I would stand up, head high, smile, eye contact, changes the way you're being perceived, as opposed to needy agent who is kind of folding down, protecting themselves, low status. okay? So
I
practice
understand.
your posture, practice your physiology. That's number one. Number two, to connect with strangers, good eye contact. Good, pleasant eye contact. You have the expression, you have a nice smile on your face. Smile is one of the easiest and also most effective ways of sending a signal. I'm glad to see you. I'm comfortable speaking with you. I'm excited that we are encountering, we're communicating. I feel good and I'm safe. Just a big smile. That's all you got to do. Okay? So this is something you practice. This is something I practiced. I wasn't born with this. I sucked at it. I was Borat. I'm not kidding. Remember the guy Borat from the movie? Kazakhstan? Remember him?
Yakshamash. My name is Borat. I like you.
That's what I sounded like. And that's what I was like. Oh, Yakshamash, I want to sell house good, you know. So I had to practice these things. So I would practice my physiology, practice my smile, practice how I would carry myself. So work on that.
Okay.
Very
I
important
understand that.
to get your physiology. Smile, number two. Number three, practice. Practice. You're already doing it, which is fantastic. Stay with it. Practice talking to people. Practice with a partner. A lot of my confidence...
Definitely. I can use it.
Do that. Do that. Find a partner. Now, your husband is great, and if he's willing to help you, that's fantastic. It's better if it's another real estate agent. And even better if it's a native English-speaking agent who will help you with your accent. I had a terrible accent at first. Horrible. My accent, holy cow. I lost a lot of business at the beginning because of that. Simply because people don't understand, and when they don't understand, they start shutting down and they feel uncomfortable and they shut you out. Not because you're a bad agent or because you're a bad person, but because they don't feel comfortable because they can't understand what you're saying.
It's right. It's exactly right. Yes.
That's right. It impacts your business, definitely. And it's not that they're mean people. They're not racist or mean or anything. It's just a natural human reaction. If I can't clearly understand what you're communicating, I tense up because I have to pay more attention to the words you're speaking. Okay? So find a partner and practice. The next thing I'm going to give you is record yourself. Get a little pocket recorder. You know, one of those little...
Yeah, I already got it. Yes,
Outstanding.
I already got it.
Use it.
Yeah.
Use it when you actually prospect. Just have it by your phone. Have it on your desk. It doesn't matter what the other persons are saying. It's not important. The other side of the conversation is nowhere near as important as listening to yourself. Now, here's a secret, though. Don't beat yourself up. Because I know, first time I heard myself, like, fuck me, that sounds horrible. I can't believe how terrible I sound. And I can't believe I said that. And I can't believe I didn't do that. And, you know, we have a tendency to beat ourselves up. Don't do that. We are our own worst critic, aren't we? Right?
Yes.
So when you listen to the recording, also focus on the things you do well, on the plus, not just on the minus. Yes, fix whatever needs to be fixed. Absolutely. If you have certain patterns that you use, the ums, the ahs, the like, the I mean, and I, and all that, clean that up. But also, I'm sure if I were to listen to with you, or you, there are a lot of things you do well already. So emphasize those, work on those, nurture those, nourish those, and make them more. Add more of that. Okay? And then just do the best you can with what you have. Because at the end, there will always be people who will not like something about you. They don't like something about me. Like, I know there are people out there who don't like my language. Not my English, but the words I use. You know, I have a very potty mouth, and I say what I think, you know, and I use adult language, and some people don't like that. I'm okay with that. Just like there will be some people you will not click with. Just like there are other people you don't like or you choose not to do business with or associate with or be friends with. It's all right. Because here's the bottom line. Whether it's Charleston, whether it's Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, or any town you're in, there's plenty of business around you. There are plenty of people who need your help. So if there is a group, small group, who doesn't like you, well, fuck them. So what? There's plenty more who will appreciate you, your skill, your desire.
Exactly.
Here's what I think.
Exactly.
You and I being immigrants, nothing was given. Even the basic stuff that people who are born here are granted, take for granted, like knowing the language well, we had to work for, we had to earn. So you had to work harder just to even the playing field. So
That's
I believe
right.
you have certain qualities that many people envy, many people admire. And I believe that people like you who went through some trials and tribulations to get to the point where you are, have something in them, a certain tenacity and passion and desire.
Thank you.
And I have nothing but respect because I know what it took. I took the journey, and it's not an easy one, regardless of how you got here. Okay? So those are some of the things. Now, people who will be watching this video, you guys who are watching this video, maybe English is not that big of a problem, but I guarantee you, if you master your ability to turn scripts into conversations, where you forget the script, where you just have a nice, pleasant dialogue with another human being from a position, I want to help. I'm a high-status agent. I don't need the listing. I want it. I don't need the business. I want to. I want to help because I know that if I help enough people, I'm going to get paid plenty. You're going to amass a huge amount of clients who will appreciate you, who will appreciate your position of somebody who is an advisor, a counselor, not just a needy, desperate, arrogant salesperson. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Was that helpful?
Yes, very much, Borino.
Awesome.